Among the new features included in Live 11, one of the most intriguing is MIDI polyphonic expression, or MPE. Let's take a look at how we can access and use MPE via the MIDI note editor. So I've got exercise 7 from chapter 5 open, and I'm going to click this first pad here to open it up down in the MIDI editor. Now, let me start by saying that MPE is really intended for real-time performance, and it was designed to give a keyboard player or somebody using a controller of some kind the ability to shape notes the same way a violinist or a flautist playing a real instrument can shape notes using vibrato and their embouchure and all of these other things that add a great subtlety to the musical performance. But we can access those features down here in the MIDI note editor, and we can actually graphically edit them as well. So it looks like I've already got the note expression tab selected. So we've moved over from the note tab to the expression tab. And here we can see the notes, but down at the bottom, we can see some new stuff with slide and pressure. There's also a couple of others here for velocity and release velocity. But I'm going to be showing you some stuff with slide and pressure and additionally pitch. And let me show you that pitch is actually hidden. So one of the really cool things that we can do here is we can actually control pitch bend on a per note basis, meaning I can bend one pitch one interval and another pitch a different interval. So at first you don't see that until you actually click select a note. And once you've done that, you'll actually see a dotted line here that we can add breakpoints to, much like we'll later do with automation. So for example, I'm going to, let me bring this down a little bit, and I'm going to bend this D up a fifth to A. So I'm going to click to add a breakpoint here, and then one over here, and then I'll click and grab the second one, and I'll drag it up to the A. And then I want to add a little bend to that. So I'm going to hold down my Option or Alt key and click between those two breakpoints and drag down to add a little bit of a bend to that pitch change. Now I'm going to drop down to the next note and I'm going to click it. We're hearing the note because the preview button is on, so let me disable that. This one, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm not going to bend the same interval. I'm going to drag this one up from a B up to an F sharp, so that's actually going to be a fifth as well. And I'm going to hold down my Option key and drag down between that so that I bend that. And then I'm going to drop down to the bottom note of the chord, which is an E, and I'm going to bend that down. I'm going to go a completely different direction, and I'm going to go down an octave. So let's add a breakpoint there and one over here. And let's see, I need to go from this E down to this E. So I'll click that and drag that down here. And instead of bending at this time, I'm actually going to activate my pencil tool by pressing the letter B and show you that you can draw some of this stuff in if you want. And I want this to be just a little bit less perfect than it was. Yeah, I can do a little better than that. There we go. And up here up top, I'm actually going to select that first note. Let me turn my pencil off for a second. Select that first note and show you that I can actually use the pencil to add almost like a little bit of a vibrato effect on that note, a little bit of imperfections to it. All right, let's check out and hear what that sounds like. So I really am excited by this ability to bend notes different directions. It seems like there's a lot of possibilities that we can use with that. Now, additionally, I can use these other options, slide and pressure, to control parameters in a MPE capable device. And we have a couple in Ableton, including wavetable and sampler. So let me shift tab here, and I'll show you that on wavetable, there's a new MPE tab, and we have this column for slide and one for pressure. And under that, I have assigned slide to control the wavetable position and also the filter one cutoff frequency. And over here on pressure, I've set that to control the intensity of the unison amount. So on a real keyboard, and this would have to be an MPE capable keyboard, there's multiple sensors along the key. And so when you put your finger and you press a key down, it knows where on the key you're doing that, and you can actually slide your finger back and forth, and you can use that movement like we're going to do here to control the filter cutoff and the wavetable position. And then as you're holding the key down, you can press harder or lighter, and you can use that pressure change to also control parameters as we're doing with the unison effect. Now, if we go to this second clip on the pad track, I've already added in some movement here with my pencil on both the pressure and the slide parameters. And so let me tab back over, or shift tab I should say, so that we can see wavetable, and I'll play this second clip for you. So you can see those parameters controlling the parameters in wavetable. So when you add graphical control of MPE note pitch bend, slide, and pressure to the already existing MIDI editing tools, the options that we have to shape a MIDI performance are really exciting.